right, yesterday we looked at writing fractions and mixed numbers as decimals, and our focus was on tenths. So if you remember yesterday, all the numbers that we worked with, they were all broken into 10 equal pieces. So their denominators were all 10. And today we're going to look at doing the same thing, rewriting fractions as decimals. But instead of tenths, we're going to be looking at hundredths. And if you look at our place value reference poster, you remember yesterday that we talked about how the first digit behind the decimal was the tenth. The second digit behind the decimal is the hundredths. So we are looking at having a denominator of 100. One thing I do want you to notice, let's take a look at this model for just a second. Do you remember yesterday when we looked at tenths, we were looking at those long strips? You remember that? Yeah. Well, now we're looking at these little tiny squares. So, which one is bigger, tenths or hundredths? Look at how tiny that little square is. Yesterday we had whole strips for our tenths. And if I can find my paper from yesterday. So, the word hundredth sounds like it would be bigger. Don't you agree? Hundredth sounds like it would be bigger. Bless you. But let's look at the size. So, the size of this compared to the size of that. The size of this compared to the size of that. So, which is bigger, tenths or hundredths? Tenths. Tenths are bigger. Please put the drawings away. Now, which one has more, tenths or hundredths? Clearly, hundredths is cut into more pieces. But the size of the pieces, tenths are bigger. Okay, so on to hundredths. So if I want to write 61 hundredths as a decimal, I first am going to look and I'm going to say, okay, well, I don't have anything that is a whole number, but I have 61 hundredths to add. So, 0 in the ones place, decimal, 6 in the tenths, 1 in the hundredths. In other words, 61 hundredths. I think it'll make a little more sense when we take a look at this example for number 2. I am going to be shading in 1 and 35 hundredths. We do.
So we have to fill in one whole square?
You're exactly right. We do have a whole number, so we have to fill in that entire square.
This is technically the same thing I thought we used to do. Let's just set this line different.
Yep. Now, I need 35 hundredths. Now, I could sit here and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, all the way. Oh, that's a lot.
There's 10 squares in each row.
Oh, you are so right about that. Mathematical genius. There are 10 squares in each row. So how many rows will I need to color in?
10.
3. 35. So I'll need to color in 10, 20, 30. See how I did that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? So I have 1 and 3 tenths, 5 hundredths. Because remember, the strips are the tenths. How many strips did I fill in? 3. 35. Okay? Let's take a look at number 3. 27 hundredths. Do I have anything in the ones place? Do I have anything in the ones place here? No. So I represent that with a 0, decimal. 27. So that means I'll have a 2 in the tens place, 7 in the ones place. 27 hundredths. And that's how we say that fraction and that decimal. They both are said like 27 hundredths. Okay? Let's take a look at number. Let's look at number 7. 3 and 64 hundredths. Do I have any whole numbers? 3 and 64 hundredths. 6 in the tenths place, 4 in the hundredths place. Okay? Oh, should we look at it together?
Yeah.
All right, let's look at 13. Oh, yes, those are juicy. The value of the underlying digit. So to be able to tell the value of the underlying digit, we need to think about the place value. Okay? So what place value is this underlying digit in? What place value is that in? It is in the ones place. Oh, I can tell why you would think it would be in the hundreds, because there are 3 digits. But remember, we have to look at our decimal. Our decimal is going to make all the difference. And since this digit is in front of the decimal, it's the ones place. So because it is in the ones place, the value is 2. All right, so your job is going to be to finish up this page. I'm going to put some stuff on Prodigy to go along with this.
So what was 14 because the underline is after the decimal.
Right, it's after the decimal. So what is the first digit after the decimal? We cut it into, yesterday, how many equal pieces did we look at? How many equal pieces? 10. So the first digit behind the decimal is the 10th place. So this digit here is in the 10th place. 2 tenths. All right, so your job is to finish up this page thinking about your decimals and how they relate to fractions and their own place value.